Well, hello, and welcome to our continuing Bible devotional. We're currently looking at verses from Ephesians, and we're in Ephesians chapter 2, verse 19 today. Ephesians 2, verse 19, which says this: "So then you are no longer strangers and aliens, but you are fellow citizens with the saints, and you are members of the household or the family of God." And the whole point being made here is that no Christian, not one Christian, should ever think of themselves as somehow being spiritually inferior in any way to anyone else. No Christian should ever think of themselves as being spiritually inferior in any way to anyone else. You're not a stranger. You're not an alien. You are a fellow citizen with the saint. You are a member, a full member of the family of the household of God. Christians sometimes wrongly critique their own spiritual standing. They look at their failures, their flaws, their lack of biblical knowledge, maybe the fact that they're not as gifted in some areas as other people, and they look at that and they think, well, I'm lesser than those other people. Those other Christians must be closer to God. They must be more favored by God. They must be spiritually special. And this leads itself to people thinking that some people's prayers are better than others, that God hears them in a way he doesn't hear other Christians, that somehow they're spiritually superior to another. And the truth is that's a lie. No pastor, no prophet, no especially righteous man or woman, from the day you surrender and put your hope and your trust in Jesus Christ, you are full-fledged full-fledged family member of God. You are as close as close can be. And the reason this is true is because everyone is accepted by God and brought into his family on the same basis, on the basis of Jesus. Jesus is the only reason that I'm welcomed, loved, favored, or heard by God. And he's the only reason you'll be welcomed, loved, favored, and heard by God. Jesus is the only reason I'm blessed, and Jesus alone. And he's the only reason you'll be blessed, and Jesus alone. That's why Paul says here, and he reminds them, you're no longer a stranger. You're not an alien. You're not an outsider who's coming to a citizen. You're not a foreigner who needs the citizen's help to gain you some privilege that's available only to citizens. You are a citizen. You are a family member. You are a child of God. You don't need any special person to pray to you. God hears you. Your prayers are just as heard as anybody else's prayers. God favors you as much as he favors anybody. He loves you as much as he loves anybody. You should never look at anybody as being either spiritually lesser or spiritually greater than you, because Jesus is all that counts. He's the only thing that counts. You've already been given straight A's on your spiritual report card because Jesus took the test and he aced it. You're not looking at your own, how you've done spiritually, but what has Jesus done? He lived perfectly, and his righteousness is applied to you so that you and I are no longer distant from God, separated from God, or in any way spiritually lesser than any other Christian. But everyone who places their faith and their hope in Jesus Christ is a citizen, a family member, a child of God. So I hope you will find that to be a reason to rejoice today. Have a blessed day.